Hope you don't mind if I take my time with this. Well, for this video I'm just going to go through and show you what I've learned from doing time-lapse on a mobile phone. And it's going to be a period of week I'm going to be doing this at different parts of the day and different sort of climates, weather, whatnot. But for now I'm just going to need to do a quick setup to get things started. Just wanted to set up a scene in my backyard for showing this and make it nice and pretty with a setting sun and greenery and all that, and a shed on the side. So now with doing time-lapse, it usually comes as an app. Now with this particular phone I use the Xperia Z5 Premium. It comes with a app that you can get for free. Now if you want the 4K version, it will come as at a cost. So just be wary of that, but I usually find just sticking with the 1080p does the job quite nicely. Now to get it down to the basics of time-lapse, what's mostly involved is taking a photo every certain amount of seconds. So see, I've set this up as being every 3 seconds it takes a photo, and you can set it up that it shows up at default it's at 30 seconds here, but I could easily change it to whatever time you want. So I'll roll that back to 0, maybe like minute, 2, probably take it up to like 5 minutes just for example. And you can start pressing record, but there's some other things I've learned that you usually need to be wary of. One is focus mode. Now it shows here as continuous video, and I find with continuous video it might cause some problems where it does this sort of like flicker when it does that takes the photo. I've got an example here of something from Wivenhoe Dam where it's just doing a flicker because it was in continuous video mode. And sometimes you might find with the particular phone you use, it might just not be able to do time-lapse on it at all. It keeps doing that sort of flickering to focus the shot. So you might find it might cause a little bit of problem. Now I find with me I have to take it and put it onto infinity, and that actually stops it. So you might need to to spend some time to have a look at that and see if you're going to have that sort of problem yourself. And the other thing you probably just need to realize too is when there it is. When it takes stuff, it goes and takes it in a certain amount of images, and depends on how long it takes to do or how long you want to record for. And if you do 2 hours of time-lapse or time-lapse recording, and you do photos every 3 seconds, if you divide that up into minutes, it's going to be very close to being like almost the amount of images you've taken there, as I showed there, and that was for like about an hour and 40 minutes. So just got to be wary of that. It might take up quite a lot of space on your phone, and if you run out of space on your phone, you might not be able to take it to its full potential of what you want to do. So just be wary of that. And you might find also too that the photos don't get stored on the memory card. You might only be able to store them on your phone only. Now, for my example, I need to get started. then let it start doing its thing. So you see here, it's like it's the record counter goes. It shows it's every 3 seconds. It will show up as having a photo. So it's past 12 seconds now, and it's at 4, 5, 6. So as you can see there, I'm going to be doing this for 10 minutes. So I might come back then. Now we're in close to the 5-minute mark. So you can see we have actually piled up quite a few photos here. Hopefully I did it at 5 minutes. I can't remember if I did it at 5 minutes or 10. Soon find out. Yeah, did it for 5 minutes. So it shows that it made like 100 images in 300 seconds. The resolution. Now this is sort of like a default. There you can actually adjust the amount of frames per second up to 60, and of course it also depends on what phone and app you use. I need to find if you just let's stay on 12 frames per second. It'll let me get there. Yeah, that'll do. That, and you can actually have it rendered and have the video ready to go. Or if you might not have that option with the app you're using, so you can actually extract the photos off your phone onto a computer, and maybe need some sort of studio software or some sort of rendering software to actually collate the photos into a film. So that's also very handy if you ever want to have a photo there to use for like social media purposes, to like help promote your video, and or just show off to keep the social side for your YouTube channel going. So, but moving on. So if I hit render, it'll give me like a little rendering screen, and over a period of time it'll render up. Hopefully it won't take too long because it's not a terribly big rendering. Now while I'm thinking about it, and while I see it rendering, I probably should warn you that the longer the time lapse you did, say if you go up and do 2 hours worth, it will take longer to render on your phone. And I also find it will lose the battery power on your phone as well. So you might want to actually have it connected up to like something like a power bank, or actually take it back home and render it then when you got connected up to your power supply and plugged into the wall. Or if you're travelling home and have a rendering, then you can probably just connect it up to your cigarette lighter and charge it up that way. But as you can see, it does take some time. Alrighty, now it's all completed. So now if you go look in your phone or export it over to your PC, you actually got a scene of what you recorded. Well, what time is it this one at the moment? It's in the morning, and wanting to get a shot of the sunrise coming up over the mountain range. Take that, take that. There's the torch. Take that. And take this thing. And take you guys, of course. Let's go. Oh, it's the finished product. I would have liked to probably set myself up a little bit better and maybe start setting up this thing instead of putting my shoes on at that particular time. It's the time I got it all set up, evened out and everything else like that, sun pretty much started to come out and it actually started to break up and don't get the stars and stuff like that. So usually you want to get some real good defining thing, make sure you time yourself pretty well. But anyway, I'll go in and just talk a little bit more further about this. Now the thing I always start off with is making sure that ground level is about halfway through your shot. So you get the scene of the ground, and see what's happening there, as well as what's happening in the sky. And of course, you can't really see much of the ground at the moment, as sun is starting to break the sky. Eventually, as it comes along, and the sky starts to break into daylight, you probably start seeing some more shapes starting to appear. Even though it might take a little while, but I'll just fast forward a little bit to around when the sun starts to break the sky, and you just start to see shapes on the ground. There's water pipe there from the sprinkler system to water the crops with. Now I'll just stop it there for a sec. Got some birds flying by. Now, as you can see, the sun is starting to break the sky and come out, and you start to see some flares coming from it. Now, I always leave my time lapse on white balance as auto, so that it can handle when the sun comes out and can actually handle the white balance with it, and so you won't get that sort of big large glare from the sun going into your lens. Now, yes, you can get lenses for your phone that you can attach by like a closed peg type clip, or by magnet. But as far as I understand, let me know if I'm wrong in the description down below, you can't get any of those sunlight filtered style lens cap for your phone. So that's why I always find it important just to leave your white balance alone and just leave it on auto balance. So we'll continue on here. Sun started to break out, and it'll actually start to make the plants, the ground appear a bit more. Now, me living in farm area, I had pumpkin growing here. It's actually started to flower in some places. Along here was actually corn growing. Here was had some trees and long grass and some other weedy type of plants here to create a scene. It actually did, with the sun coming through too, it actually made the plant glow a fair bit. I won't get very much in the summertime, but I usually find when the winter time, with the sun being a bit more in the northern hemisphere, I actually can get that sort of glow off the mountain range here. So always keep your eyes open for something like that, and you can see if you can actually put it to good use. So play, continue on. Sun comes out, sun starts to glow on the plants here. Start seeing a bit more of the horizon. A bit of a wind blowing, so you start seeing a bit of the long grass here, starting to go. So you certainly can create definitely a scene from the sunrise. You start seeing the clouds starting to roll in. So hopefully this will be a little bit of a inspiration for you, and sort of like an idea about approaching time lapse. So hopefully that does create some inspiration for you when you want to go out there and do some time lapse on a mobile. Even though you might not live in this sort of environment, because I live in the Lockyer Valley, which is like west of Brisbane, known as the food bowl of Queensland basically. I don't live near a beach or in Metropolis or in any snow. We don't get any snow up here. Or you're beside a lake or a river or beside a forest. So, certainly can, put where you live into good use for what you want to do for your videos. So, just need to be inspiring and creative and show some initiative behind it. Well, I was just reviewing my latest efforts and using the egg timer, and didn't exactly have a good day, because I was going to do a this big talk at the place I was going to film at, but since it's around bushland, it was very vocal with the cicadas. And I actually had to do the time lapse twice, because the first time round I actually had a train go by, and nothing much I can do about that, because it is a active train line where it is. But I also found that this thing is not terribly crash hot, because it just let it. It was just moving too quick to what the actual time is supposed to be going at. Something I picked up for $20 off of eBay, and it came with a bendy tripod and a clip that you can put your smartphone in. Not this one, but another type that you can put your smartphone in, and also convert it so that you're able to clip on your GoPro. But it seems like a bit cheap and very nasty. It's pretty much the point in what I'm doing here is sort of like to talk about when you want to use an egg timer for time lapse. Is you probably see if you have a bit of a starting point, like there's a little mark on the bottom, and that's sort of like where you want it to finish. So when you turn it to get it rolling, is where you want to start. Take it where you want it to start. So, and the other thing is be careful with these two. Is I've got caught out myself where I don't grab the hold of the bottom terribly well, and end up just turning the whole thing without actually turning the timer on it. So just be aware of that and save you a whole heap of time. But I saw I noticed this thing is probably not terribly crash hot, because while sitting there watching it as it's doing its job, I did notice that it seemed to be moving quite quickly to the time I actually set up, because I set it up for like 40 minutes of time-lapse filming, and this thing made it look like it was finished in about 20 minutes. So, well, to cut to the my little cutscene here, you probably understand what I mean, where it just seemed to have this stutter and just terribly moving just too quickly to be a reasonably good time lapse. The thing I want to finish off with is people who want to do like a little cutscene for their vlogs or something like that is it can be a little bit fiddly trying to set up your time-lapse app on your phone to do something that's pretty much only going to be for like probably 10 seconds in your vlog or whatever video you're going to create. So I just want to show you how I go about doing something like that. It's reasonably quick and simple and easy to do and quick to do for something that's still like going about on a time limit. So for now I'm just going to record something like 3 minutes, then I'll take it back inside and show you from there. Okie dokie, so with the 3 minute footage you got, I know it's probably not going to be the best looking one with just trees rustling and a little bit of light cloud flying around, but for the process of wanting one to show you, so it'll just have to do basically. But yeah, just grab your footage, bring it up so you can start editing and stuff like that on it. Now somewhere obviously here with Grell Video Studio X10, it'll have like some sort of options to actually do a speed or time lapse. Now it's obviously going to be pretty obvious now. It's more just the fact of speeding up your shot. So I'll bring it up with that, pretty much with this 3 minute footage. I'll just bring it up so it'll be like roughly like what pretty much do with the app on my phone. So roughly about 30 seconds of turning to 30 seconds of footage at frame frequency at 3. Just move that aside, hit the preview button, and oops, forgot to do something in the way of muting. So if I go back to that, I have to reset it all again. And shove it aside, hit the preview button. Now I don't have the best computer probably to study out the computer basically to do editing, but you get the idea of looking at the footage. Once I finish rendering it, it'll probably come out quite nice looking. So there you have it. There's your footage. So if you render that, or in simple fact, if you pretty much put it in the actual video you're wanting to do, get it all doing this time-lapse thing, then trim it down to have like something in the line of like a 10-second piece of footage. Then you can just add it on, put some music with it, and there's your little time-lapse cutscene for your video. I did have something else planned to do for a conclusion, but I decided to change it again because last night here in Australia we had the lunar eclipse with the blue moon or second full moon, but fortunately it had a thunderstorm and it got very overcast, so I couldn't do it. But I just really wanted to have a try at doing the lunar eclipse on a mobile phone, doing a time lapse and just seeing what it feels like. And even though it was a bit disappointing that it was overcast and I couldn't do it, like pretty much show it was so overcast that I couldn't see anything outside, not even stars. And it did rain a little bit more, during the night, and it again to my point, it's sort of like it's worth a try. You know, yes, it might be a mobile phone, and you might get a better job done with using a professional camera with, you know, specialised lens for it. And there's people out there on YouTube who can do that sort of thing with those sort of cameras, but I don't have that sort of camera. I can't afford that sort of camera, and it looks like it's going to be a while before I can get that sort of camera with the email I got from YouTube with the changes to monetization. So I'll just stick with what I got, and at the moment it's doing a good job, even though it hasn't really gone out there very much. But it's one little saying I like to say is, it's better to be a professional amateur than an amateur professional. So hopefully this video can help you out a bit when it comes to doing time-lapse stuff on your mobile phone. And don't be afraid to have a go. So until next time, have a good one.